Hi everyone, it is Atia here at BookTube with Atia, and welcome back to another video. Today we are getting into my 12 book recommendations from 12 BookTube friends TBR list. I am super excited to be doing this. Shout out to Paco from Bad Witch Books. He actually contacted me and asked me to give him a recommendation for this, and I was like, whoa, that's such a cool idea. I've always seen it around BookTube. I was like, I'm also going to do this. Thank you for this idea. And so I reached out to 12 of my fellow booktubers and asked them for a recommendation. And I figured I'll choose a book each month using a spinner reel. And I will be doing channel member and Patreon exclusive vlogs for each of the 12 books. So if you want to see me along this journey and keep up with like how I'm doing my progress, how I end up liking these books, make sure to consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon member, and those links are always down below. You can become one at either time, and you get access to previous exclusives. And yeah, so all the friends mentioned, or that will be mentioned, are going to be in the description, so definitely go and subscribe to them and watch their videos and let them know that I sent you. Before we dive in, I do want to encourage you to check out my bonfire, where you can get yourself some merch like some sweatshirts and t-shirts, totes, things like that, as well as my Etsy shop where I currently have bookmarks. And starting in mid-January, I am launching stickers on the Etsy shop, and I'm very, very excited about that. So make sure that you not only check out the shop, but favorite it, so when those listings go live, you're one of the first ones to get a notification about it. So starting off with the first book, shout out and thank you to the lovely Vanessa at Read with Dr. B. She suggested that I read Saddled with Finesse by Zia Kaylin Galen. And this is actually a black cowboy romance, which I've been wanting to read more of. So I was very excited when this was her pick for me. And it says, it was supposed to be just a welcome home party, but then Corey Whitfield showed up. One kiss after too many drinks makes me break all my rules, even though I know getting involved with him is dangerous. Can I protect him from my past while holding on to the love he's shown me? Corey. All I wanted was a fresh start and to focus on my sons and my new landscaping business. Then I met Reese Mason, stunning and completely out of my league, and everything changed. I'll do anything to keep her, but is my love enough to save her from the past? Ugh, I love a semi pseudo forbidden romance. And the second book, shout out to Paco at Bad Witch Books for this recommendation. And this is A Cruel Thirst by Angela Montoya, which I believe is a vampire novel, I think. And it says Carolina Fuentes dreams of joining her family and hunting the vampiros that terrorize her pueblo, but her father insists she marry a safe, suitable husband instead. Determined to prove herself as a slayer, Carolina sets out to take down a monster on her own, only to encounter Lalo Villalobos, a newly turned vampire who is both charming and kind, upending her plans. Lalo has fled his city in search for a cure for his vampirism, hoping the Pueblo holds answers about the origins of the first vampire. Instead, he runs straight into Carolina, a fierce young huntress more than willing to drive a dagger through his heart. Forced to work together against a common enemy, Carolina and Lalo must combine her skill and his strength to defeat the threat. Along the way, they discover that partnership and perhaps even romance can be just as thrilling as the hunt itself. Book number 3 was recommended by Nicole at Dusty Book Sniffers, and it is Brotherless Night by V.V. Ganeshananthan. 16-year-old Sashi dreams of becoming a doctor in Jaffna, Sri Lanka, but her plans are upended as civil war engulfs her home and tears her family apart. Over the next decade, she watches her 4 brothers and their friend Kay become caught in the escalating violence, and she is drawn into the conflict herself. Accepting Kay's invitation, Sashi works as a medic at a field hospital for the militant Tamil Tigers, hoping to help those affected by the fighting. But when the Tigers kill one of her teachers and Indian peacekeepers commit further atrocities, she begins to question her allegiances and the morality of the war around her. A Tamil feminist and dissident professor later offers Sashi a chance to join a secret project documenting human rights violations, setting her on a dangerous and transformative path. Through these experiences, Sashi navigates the complexity of loyalty, justice, and survival. Brotherless Night is a poignant exploration of war, family, and the courage it takes to protect one's dreams amid chaos. Book number 4 is a recommendation from Didi at Virtues of Books, and it is Jamaica Road by Lisa Smith. In 1981 South London, Daphne, the only black girl in her class, tries to stay invisible to survive, burying herself in books and routine. Her quiet life is disrupted when Connie Small arrives from Jamaica, a lanky, outgoing boy who is impossible to ignore. Despite her attempts to keep her distance, Daphne is drawn into an intense bond with Connie, which slowly shifts from friendship into something more complicated as their families grow close. When Connie reveals that he and his mother are living in England illegally, Daphne realizes how entwined she has become in his fragile world. As long buried secrets in both families emerge, their relationship is tested and threatened with permanent separation. Spanning a decade from South London's industrial docklands to the beaches of Calabash Bay, Jamaica Road is a sweeping, emotionally rich story about race, class, chosen family, and the limits of love. It's a powerful debut about growing up, holding on, and finding your place in the world. Recommendation number 5 is going to come from Courtney at Tangible Reads, and her recommendation is Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Bayron. And it says 17-year-old Mika has been haunted for years by a recurring nightmare of her father pulling her mother's mangled body from a car wreck, confiding only in her boyfriend, Noah. When Noah dies in a tragic accident, Mika's world unravels and strange, unsettling events begin to follow her. The bracelet Noah was buried with mysteriously reappears on her doorstep, and her nightmares grow darker and more twisted. As she struggles to understand what's happening, Mika discovers someone or something is following her everywhere. Determined for answers, she embarks on a chilling journey to uncover a centuries old secret tied to her family's past. Frankenstein, but with a modern twist, this horror fantasy explores grief, legacy, and the dark truths that refuse to stay buried. Also, the cover is freaking phenomenal. I love this cover so much. The 6th book recommendation is Jamie at Jamie B's Books, and it is 10 Incarnations of Rebellion by Vashni Patel. Kalki Divkar grows up in Kingston, a city the British built atop the ruins of Bombay, in an India that was never liberated. Surrounded by a brutal regime, lost elders, and young men drafted to fight wars they won't survive, she witnesses a society more focused on internal conflict than confronting its true oppressors. When tragedy strikes close to home, Kalki begins taking small, dangerous acts of resistance, guided by the cautious Yashu and inspired by Fauzia's bold dreams. Together, they launch Kingston's underground independence movement, infiltrating British institutions while secretly plotting to overthrow the empire from within. Each step carries the risk of death, forcing Kalki to weigh the cost of heroism against the instinct to survive. Told through 10 pivotal moments in her life that mirror the Dashaftara, 10 Incarnations of Rebellion is a sweeping, speculative tale of empowerment, friendship, and self-determination. Over the course of a decade, Kalki learns what it truly means to fight for freedom and shape her own destiny. Next up, our 7th recommendation is from Brandie at Books with Brandie Shanae, and she recommended The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. Jordan, a freshman at a prestigious historically black university in Washington, D.C., is eager to start her life away from her overprotective parents and focus on pre-law. Her plans are disrupted when her roommate's ex-convict brother, Devante, moves into their dorm, charming everyone around him while subtly exerting control. At first, Jordan is unsure what to make of his influence, but she soon senses something darker beneath his charisma and growing circle of followers. When one of her roommates goes missing, Jordan realizes she must act before it's too late. Teaming up with the university's lone white student, She begins unraveling a web of manipulation, secrets, and lies. Monday's Not Coming meets a college thriller. This gripping novel explores trust, deception, and the dangers hiding behind charm. Book number 8 is going to be coming from Nell at Nell's next chapter, and it is Firstborn of the Sun by Marvelous Michael Anson, another one that has an absolutely stunning cover. Lore was born without Agbara, the sun-based magic that everyone in Oru wields, a secret she guards fiercely, knowing it killed her mother. When the gods declare her best friend Alawani a priest of the Holy Order, he faces a deadly trial that has rarely seen survivors. Determined to save him, Lore breaks into the temple and, in a desperate act, unleashes a dangerous shadow magic that draws power from everything around her. She and Alawani escape, but their flight attracts the attention of the Holy Order. On the run, Lore uncovers the truth about her heritage and the man responsible for her mother's death, Alawani's grandfather, the leader of the Holy Order. Now hunted, she must confront the full extent of her magic while choosing between her friendship with Alawani and the dark power within her. This epic tale weaves intricate world building, political intrigue, and high stakes magic into a story of family, survival, and self discovery. Book recommendation number 9 is from Allie at Allie's Annotations, and it is of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. 18-year-old Aihui Ying dreams of becoming a world-class engineer like her father, but his sudden murder shatters her life. Left with only his journal of engineering secrets and a jade pendant stolen by his assassin, she follows the trail to the capital and the prestigious Engineers Guild, determined to uncover the truth behind his death. Disguised as her brother, Ying infiltrates the guild's male-only apprenticeship trial with the help of Aogoyi Yi Yang, the taciturn 8th Prince of the High Command. She must navigate jealous competitors, watchful guild masters, and the assassin still hunting her father's secrets, all while grappling with a complicated connection to the prince. As deadly secrets within the guild emerge, Ying struggles to decide who she can trust. With her life and the future of her homeland at stake, she faces impossible choices: avenge her father, honor his legacy, or risk becoming the next target. This silk punk fantasy combines high stakes intrigue, inventive engineering, and a gripping tale of courage and revenge. Book recommendation number 10 is from Koda at your BookTube bestie, and it is Isaac's Song by Daniel Black. Isaac, a young queer black man from Missouri, has spent much of his life suppressing his artistic and physical desires under the pressure of a strict traditional father. Now living in late 1980s Chicago, he's begun to embrace his true self, finding community and nurturing his sensitive, creative spirit. But just as Isaac starts to claim his hard-won joy, the AIDS crisis and the aftermath of Rodney King's attack shake his world and threaten his sense of stability. Encouraged by his therapist, he begins writing his story, channeling his experiences into a creative journey that leads him back to his family, his ancestral home in Arkansas, and the inherited traumas of his past. Along the way, a surprising discovery challenges everything he knows, offering either revelation or disruption to the life he's fought to build. Isaac's Song is a sweeping, luminous exploration of identity, family, and perseverance, showcasing the power of storytelling to confront history and heal. I'm super excited for this one. I've been wanting to read it because I've read this author's previous work, which is Don't Cry for Me, which is actually about Isaac's father. And that was such a heartwarming and not heartwarming, it was a touching and emotionally moving story. So I know this one is going to be, and it'll be interesting seeing the dad through Isaac's perspective, even though in Don't Cry for Me, it's very obvious that the dad was not a great dad to Isaac because of his sexuality and the fact that he was just a softer spirit and artistic. So yeah, I'm very much looking. I'm looking forward to all of these, but that one in particular, I was like, okay, this is going to finally force me to read the follow-up to Don't Cry for Me. The 11th book recommendation we have is from Keda at Resistance Book Club, and it is another one that I've been meaning to get to all of 2025, and that is Tender Beast by Lizelle Sambury. After the death of her mother, Sunny Bird's carefully curated life unravels. especially when her youngest brother Dom is accused of a second-degree murder. Tasked with fulfilling her mother's final request to take care of Dom, Sunny finds herself drawn into a dangerous investigation when a classmate is gruesomely murdered and Dom is found with blood on his hands. Determined to uncover the truth, Sunny begins to investigate the killings, only to discover that her other siblings harbored their own dark secrets. As more bodies appear, the stakes rise, and Sunny must navigate a web of lies, family loyalty, and hidden motives. Torn between protecting Dom and preserving the legacy her mother built, Sunny faces impossible choices that could cost her everything. This psychological thriller blends suspense, family intrigue, and dark secrets in a high stakes, twist filled story. The final book on this recommendation list is going to be from Neva at Neva's Cozy Corner, and it is Cursed Daughters by Onyenkan Braithwaite, who is also the author of My Sister, the Serial Killer, which I read a few years ago. When Abun gives birth to her daughter, Enigi, on the same day her cousin Monife is buried, the family becomes convinced that Enigi is Monife reincarnated, destined to repeat her tragic fate. Adding to the pressure is a generations-old curse. No man will ever find peace in the Fallow Dunn household, leaving heartbreak and abandonment in its wake. As Enigi grows, she falls for a boy she rescues from drowning, forcing her to confront her family's dark history and the superstition that has shaped her life. Determined to break the cycle, she seeks answers in the older, darker spiritual corners of Lagos, trying to escape the repeated patterns of love and heartbreak. Cursed Daughters is a wickedly funny and perceptive novel about love, family, superstition, and female rivalry. Through its vibrant, unforgettable cast, it explores whether one can rewrite fate and claim agency over the legacies and secrets handed down through generations. And that is it. Those are the 12 book recs from 12 BookTube friends. I've actually already spun to figure out what I am reading in January, so you just have to be on the lookout for I guess my wrap up if you're not a channel or Patreon member, and if you are, then a vlog where I read January's pick. But thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below, have you read any of these 12 books, and if so, what did you think? Which one and what did you think? And make sure to check out my Bonfire and Etsy shop and consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon member. All of my links are down below. If you want to subscribe to an audiobook service that is not the Zon and supports independent bookstores, make sure to check out my affiliate link down below for Libro FM. Use that link, you get a free audiobook, I get a free audiobook, and our money goes towards independent bookstores, which is always awesome. And I will see you in another video. Bye!
Showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me.